Well, that was disappointing. What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? It's Doc Wilson here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Elite Controller. Now I want to talk about the Elite Controller today because whenever I see videos on YouTube, they're pretty much like, oh, look at this controller! It's a controller! It has buttons and sticks! Look at it! It's amazing! Hey, look at this. Buttons. Sticks. We don't need that, people! Now when you do look at this controller, it does have a nice matte finish to it. It's almost like a little rubberized. It's not sticky at all. It's just a nice soft feel. And these analog sticks are removable. They're magnetic, they just stick on and they come off. And they're kind of easy to pull off, it feels like, until you actually move one to the edge and you go to pull one off. And it's really kind of difficult. Now these haven't ever come off whenever I've been playing with them, but I guess if you just decide to Hulk smash your controller against the floor, they would probably come off. They also come with two different kind of D-pads. You have just the regular one, and then you have the facet one. Or faucet, or however you want to say that. You got this one. Now since I don't play a lot of fighting games, I kind of prefer this one. Both of them work just fine. Also looking at the controllers, you'll know the AXYB buttons are kind of shadowed, and I think they look really nice. Also, the bumpers as well as the triggers are made of metal, which makes this controller a little bit heavier. Also on the back you'll notice your 4 paddles and these little switches here. What those are for are hair triggers. That way whenever you push this down, it only goes halfway down instead of all the way down. See the difference? And what that'll normally help with is shooter games. You can kind of get a shot off faster instead of having to go through the full trigger pull. Now when I played this on a game kind of like Destiny, it didn't really seem to have that big of an effect on me. I didn't really notice a whole lot other than if I had a single shot weapon, it would shoot and I would be able to get that next shot off pretty consistently. There wasn't a big pause between it. But now playing on a game like Call of Duty, I felt like I had a little bit of an edge to get that first shot off faster than what the other guy does. I normally play hardcore, and that's kind of a big difference. Now I'm not saying you can put this thing in the hands of anybody and just they magically become a god. That's not the case. I'm just saying it's a little bit of an edge, not a big difference. Say that you do play 2 games a lot, like maybe Destiny and Call of Duty, you can actually have 2 different presets on this and just switch it back and forth. Now like I said, this controller has a nice soft feel to it and it feels good holding it in the hand. The only thing is, holding it in the hand, you have these paddles. And if you're not careful, you're going to end up hitting them. Now what I want to show you is I have paddles on this side and no paddles on this side. This is my normal grip, but if you notice on this side, with these 2 fingers on the paddles, my hand's actually shifted a little bit further forward than it is back. And that's so I can get these paddles, but also if I had my hand around more, my fingers, this finger would be on both paddles, and this one would be grazing the top of the first paddle and resting on the second paddle. So if I rotate my hand forward just a little bit, I can get both of them very nicely. But it is a little bit different than how I normally hold the controller. Now I'm not saying this is bad in any way. It's not really majorly affecting my gameplay. I just have to rotate my hand just a little bit further forward, and actually I kind of get more of a thumb on the thumbstick that way. But now if you do have bigger hands, this might pose a problem to you because you would have more hand on the controller. I'd say my hands are around average size. You know what they say about big hands? Big gloves. They say you need big gloves. And yes, you can remove the paddles and put them in any order you want, but I don't really suggest this because if you press one, you kind of hit both of them. The only thing I would suggest with the paddles is if you don't like both paddles, just remove the back one. And that way you still have the front one. I feel like the front one is in a pretty good spot. These back ones would be the ones that you hit the most. Also, there's a lot of things said about rechargeable batteries. The controller will take rechargeable batteries, I believe, as long as it is the one from Microsoft. And I know this because that's what's in it right now, is the battery pack from Microsoft. Now from what I know, third-party battery pack accessories will not work. This is mainly because the battery housing is smaller on the Elite controller. That is because I had to find room to put everything with these paddles and these hair triggers. But as you can see here, the one from Microsoft will work, and it does work. And the controller is on right now. Now, about the only complaint I do have about this controller is it does show fingerprints and smudges really well. You can see some on the back that I made while shooting this video. And that's really about the only complaint I have with this controller. Other than the price. Holy freaking cow. It's $150. This controller also comes with this nice carrying case for all of your accessories. This also comes with 3 different heights of analog sticks. The middle one being domed. And that is all I have time for today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and leave a comment about acorns. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.